Right, apologies to all those watching. Probably take a minute or two for people to come back. But PC locked up again, and I just decided to switch over to XSplit Gamecaster. So we're back, still in this first rack. Larry's just short of 90. Rodney's trying to get there. So the PC's now, in the last couple of instances, it's not actually restarting. It's actually just locking up completely. And the only time I realise that's happened is I'm watching my phone and my phone starts buffering, and then I realise there's nothing happening on the PC screen because everything's completely locked up, and then I just have to hit the power button on the PC for it to shut down and restart. This is just something I'm going to have to be patient with and put up with it until the PC completely dies. So anyway, apologies for that, but that's the way it is, and that's what's more than likely going to happen more often than not. It doesn't do for keeping your viewers happy either, but unfortunately the circumstances are that there isn't likely to be a change in the foreseeable future. Watch the cue ball. So Rodney, 9 away from 90. Welcome back to Coldest Pillow. Good evening, good afternoon to Fast Eddie. Well, if that's Fast Eddie just arriving, he hasn't had the disappointment of the PC just locking up and having to restart the stream again. He doesn't realise that. But that's just what's happened there. PC totally locked up again. And on we go. I started playing a bit of Red Dead Redemption this afternoon, but I've totally forgotten all the controls. I'm ended up shooting people and I don't want to shoot them, so I gave that up quick. Totally lost all memory of the controls and the buttons for Red Dead Redemption 2. Still a bloody great game though. So now it's the race to 101. Now, I don't know whether Larry can hit this one full in the face, but what I was thinking there is that he maybe should have hit that 3 ball a bit harder to try and bank it down towards a 5. I don't know whether he felt it was safe to do that. I would have been a better idea if I'd gone up to look behind his cue. Well, the little force follows on, and if this 1 ball again, he's trying to keep these together, but we might have got away with it, I think. And then again, it's tight. Now this is where it's really dodgy to make the carom and judge how much of that 1 ball you need to take to try and get over here for this 5. Because it's more of a little stun. You see, that's very difficult to judge. But the prime objective is keep your points. He's got the 6 caroms, he's kept them. And all the onus is on YPR to stick something together here. Now he's got to come into the back of this 3. You never want to go direct towards the 3 ball, you know what's going to happen. And now he's got a nice little set up from the 1 to the 5. So again, Rodney's going to bank this 1 towards the 3. He can't hit it soft. He's got to get this 1 across to try and string these caroms together. He's got to get it in the vicinity of that 3 ball, or else it's no use, because this 5 ball is going to go up table. Well, that ended up, I don't know what the angle was like, but I don't think it was quite as bad as that. But clearly the 1 ball was getting in the way with the line to the 5, so just a run or 2. I think he just brushed that 1. No, he didn't. No. So this rack is already over the half-hour mark. No, both of them were 7 o'clock kickoffs, but Woody never showed up for his match with Matt. He bottled out. Now, what shot do I see here? By the way, Tam, I haven't told these guys about the smoking that me and Crosty did this morning. I haven't been bragging. Especially the win against 2 of the guys that are through to round 3 in this whole event. I never even mentioned that. Well, this is perfect for a force follow, I think. So Larry's last visit was just 1. Well, 1 mistake here is what can cost you the rack. Oh, I mean, what was the score? Was it 92-0 at one point in that in that final rack or the 3rd rack? I can't remember. Was it 92-0? No, we had a run of 70 or something, I think. But that's the best streak that me and Crosties have, because it's a bloody pain in the arse having to deal with him. Well, is this cue ball going to get there? Has it got the legs? Has it got the legs? Well, it has, but just doesn't have the line. So Rodney's run is 3. He's only 2 behind. Let's go behind the shot and see what he's got here. Well, I reckon I would just be cutting my losses here, just playing a dead weight roll to the 1 like that. And see if there's anything that could shape up. I think he can get the little 2 railer to this 5, I think. I think he can. I think he can just nick this. Because the 5's in a nice line. Yeah. That takes him to 99. Oh, and he's got a perfect little force follow on this 1 to the 3, but he's got to think about where the 1 ball's ended up for his outshot. But this is perfect for the force follow. The fact that it's bumped the 3, and he's okay. He's got the out into the corner. And this is just a feather edge There's a fair margin of error in this shot. He's going a bit too wide though. Yeah, just a bit too wide. So welcome back everybody, any of the people that have rejoined us. Apologies, but you know what happened. The PC just completely locks up on the screen, no functionality whatsoever, and I have to reboot the PC. So we're good for the moment. And of course now, this is not quite as simple an outshot. But it's very well played this time by Larry. So he is off first rack on the board after 37 minutes. Well, that's coming too tight a line, this cue ball, I think. I think it's too tight a line. Yeah, it is. Well, he's going to have to aim for the 3 ball here. And hope that one bumps the 5 out of the way so he's got the force follow right through in the 3. But he's gone wide. See, this is why when I break off in Cowboy, I just conventionally break where I'm over this side, pot the 3, and try and hit it firm enough that it's going to the rail. Very often it's going a sort of narrow line where it comes down and maybe hits the rail here and finishes here, but as long as you're here, you've got 2 shots you can play. But if you get it too tight coming down the middle, you narrow down your options. You're very often left with only 1. And if you go too tight like Larry done, you've only got the sort of hit and hope force follow carom. Trying to bump another ball out of the way, which is never the easy way of doing things. Five balls coming into a reasonably good position, but he's going to have to. Well, this looks a dodgy cut in the 3 ball. Yeah, I don't like that. Well, he's fine. He got the bump in the 1 there, and that's held him reasonable enough for the 5-3. Well, he's got the cut in the 1, and the 5 and 3 are sitting good, so everything's fine at the moment. Now, ideally, he wants to be able to. See, this is the next sort of level of thinking in Cowboy. When he pots this 1, and he's going to play the. Well, he's gone too far. He's gone too far. That's no good. What I was going to say is, if you finish round about here, what you're trying to do is you're actually, although you're on a carom, what you really should be trying to do is pot one of those balls and still get the carom so you can get the ball on its spot and get it back into the game. You've always got to think about how you're going to progress the run that you're on, and by getting balls into better positions, or preferably back in their spots where you're in more familiar territory, then that's probably the best way of doing things. It's not always going to be the case, but it's a good base to start with. There's always trying at some point end up getting the balls, well, certainly 1 or 2 of them, maybe not all 3, but it makes your life a bit easier. Like, for example, here, Larry can pot the 3 and leave a line to the 5. If he pots the 5, then he's not going to leave a line from the 5 to the 3. It's going to be the 5 to the 1 unless he's doing some of the cue ball. It looks as if he's spinning over to the left. Yeah, he's trying to go over to the left, but he's not hit it. See, that needed to be another foot left. Let me get my little doodle working, because I can use it in this. He wanted over here to get a choice of shots. Now, similar choice again. If he pots that 3 and kills the cue ball, he's more than likely to get the 3 to the 5. We just got to look at where the spot is. Well, he's running through and coming out. As long as he's high enough, he'll be fine. So the spot's there, and he's good. I wouldn't hit this too hard though. I would just be hitting it soft. Yeah, see, that's too hard, because you're trying to leave that 3 ball on to pot it. Now he's got lucky that the 5 balls come across, but again, that's just luck that that's ended up there. He had a much more controllable shot there, playing it soft in the 3, and he would have been potting the 3. So he landed lucky there. Well, aye. I mean, lucky that the 5 came into play, but not the way I would have done it. I would have played the guaranteed shot. The guaranteed shot was being gentle in the 3, and you were pushing it towards the pocket, so you were sure you had a pot on. That shot he played, he had no clue that he was going to have a pot on. But nevertheless, he's doing it his way, and his run is 43. Can't argue with that. The only other problem is he ain't got those on the board yet. He's got to get them in the bag, secure. And I think he's blocked out on the 1 ball. Now, if that 1 ball was closer to the pocket, I'd be playing the 3 in off it, but it's not close enough. That way you can get the 1 into play. So you'll be looking either from above the 5. Well, just about. Well, that's true, but I mean, that shot I was talking about, I know that I was right in what I said, and how to play that shot. How Larry played it was just leaving too much to chance, and he got lucky though. That's the difference. Most of the time you won't get that lucky roll where the 5 ball came into play. The surefire way of playing it is what you want to do. But anyway, you take what you can get. Like I say, 49 and counting is no good unless you've kept them. You've got to keep them. Oh, that's a disaster. What did he do there? Did he pot out a sequence? Well, it's not a disaster. He's kept his points. I take it back. I think he's potted out a sequence there. But anyway, the vital thing is the points are there, and they do count. Yeah, he missed the carom, potted the ball, missed the carom. Well, Larry's very quickly back in. And Rodney is going to have to get himself a quick rub down with a damp cloth here, because that's no good either. He's missed the carom, Larry. So, you know, there's Rodney off the hook this time. Is he going to put a score? Because we know he can put scores together. And when you're 1-0 down and you're 50 points behind in the second rack, you want to start getting your arse in gear. Well, the line that the cue ball wants to take, I would stay up there, because it's easier to go from the 5 to the 3, but up there. I wouldn't be going 5 to the 1. He looks as if he is though. I see now he's going to have to make a pot. See, if he played the 5 to the 3, he would have at least had a pot in the 1, and it would have been a lot easier than this. Well, now it's a force follow. You can bump the 3 out of the way and force follow to the 5, and he's missed that and scratched. Or you could have done it mass safe way. Mass safe way would have been playing the 1 ball for the 2 and 1, either hit the 5 or hit the 3, and that way there's no risk of scratching. That's what I would have done. Because the priority is, if you're doing the force follow, you've got to get the line where you're hitting that ball, because if you don't and skip, just squat past it like that, you're heading for the hole. And this is playing right into Larry's hands. Rodney's making more mistakes than Larry, has to be said at this stage. Well, I think right now Larry will be getting that bit more relaxed. That nothing has really come back from Rodney yet at all. Well, I'll tell you this though, if it is semi-pro, he's doing very well to avoid the semi-pro wiggle. So Larry's run ends on 19. He has, what, a 69-point lead or something like that. Now, what was I going to do? I'll tell you what I was going to do. Just for any latecomers, I will do that, go to there, and we will have a quick reminder of the matches remaining. We've got Fast Eddie and Coldest Pillow tomorrow afternoon at 4:30. So as I said, I'll need to have an early dinner because that's more than likely going to run into Jose and One Pocket Slim. So 2 good matches on the one loss side tomorrow. As long as you can put up with the failing PC and the occasional restart of the stream, then it might be well worth joining us for either of those 2 matches tomorrow. We've also got what do you call it? Tam and oops, wrong button there. Tam and VP Monster are going to be setting their match up. They've got time to do it yet. Hopefully it's a suitable time for me. Larry playing the little drag shot to try and keep the cue ball up top, which he has done. On 89. Gets that 5 a bit too thick. But all the pressure on YPR. Well, that's the thing. I mean, Larry's too good a player not to be able to score in this game. Okay, he's not, uh, he's not as familiar with the table as some other people are, but the longer he stays in the tournament, the more familiar he will be with the table, and he's a threat to anybody. And this is where Rodney's finding out that when the game becomes so tough when you're struggling and you're finding it difficult to put runs together and put an actual score on the board that matters. When you come up against somebody like Larry's going to take enough opportunities that are given to him to get into that carom phase. So this is a big ask for Rodney. 1-0 down and not quite 2-0 down, but looking very likely to be. But the beauty of Cowboy is it ain't over. Not by a long chalk. It's every possibility that Rodney could pinch this rack still. And he's probably going to have to do the best part of that. With this visit, he's got to be putting a big stack together here. But champions will do that when asked a question, when you have to produce the goods. That's the difference between the champion and the also-rans. The also-rans can score, but they have to produce it when asked of them, when you're in a desperate situation. And when you're staring 2-0 in the face. Well, all is good for the moment. He's got to stay left side, and if he's going right side, he's going to have to go right through. Yeah, left side. Now, I'd be playing the 5 ball because you want to, again, give yourself the best odds of leaving a ball that's easy enough to pot. And you can play the 5 ball up table. You've definitely, if you go through again, you've still got a 5-1 or a 5-3. Well, it's got to be the thin cut in the 3. Cue ball come across the table. 5 ball is a tough ask. This is not what you want for a recovery shot. I mean, he's hampered slightly over that 1 ball. Again, this is thin off this 5 ball. If he's going to play it thin, again you can play the force follow. And he hasn't, that was like on the right side of the 1, which is why it came back into play. So, shaping up at the moment to continue the run. Now again, if this is soft enough, at worst you're going to have a shot in the 5 once you play the carom in the 3 here. He's caught the outside. Now the problem is, it's just spacing apart here. Barrage is live on YouTube. Aye, so is what's his face? George Galloway. He does the mother of all talk shows on YouTube. Gets thousands watching him. I am glad to say I've not watched a single debate with any of them. Not watched nothing of it. I've got absolutely no interest. Well, YPR on a run of 64 desperately needed it and still got to keep the points. Now that has killed the 1 ball, but he's still got the 5 ball to work with. Well, the mistake has been made. He misses the pot on the 5. The run ends in 65. And of course, Larry has no shot in the 1, so he's got to play the carom for the point. Well, I got my envelope through from the electoral thing the other day there, and it never even came out of the envelope. It just went straight into the bin. As soon as I saw what it was, it just headed straight into the bin. I'll never set foot in a voting booth again. I made that vow a number of years ago, and I stand by it. I'll never be near it again. It makes no difference if you're Scottish. Not a single bloody jot of difference does it make. So it's a wasted vote. So Larry on 90. YPR with a tight pot in the 3. Looking for the draw. This needs to get that 5 out of the way. Well, he just got it out of the way, no more. And ideally he wants the 5 just to stay over the pocket. That will do. Would I vote for a free Chinese? No, I would vote if somebody came and collected me in a car and took me to the Chinese first, because then I could still tell them to F off and just go home with the Chinese. I wouldn't need to go to vote. They had to do it in that order. But seriously, no, I'm never going near a voting booth again. I can't even remember how many years it is now since the last Scottish referendum for independence. After that, I said, sod it. Too many older people bottled out. Hanging on to Westminster's coattails as usual. Oh, I've been in a huff for years about that. And what actually drives the message home is when Scotland voted to stay in Europe, and the English decided no, we're for out, and they dragged the rest of you behind them. You know, so that's why it doesn't matter what you vote in Scotland. Doesn't matter a damn what you vote. You just tag along with the rest of them. So Rodney, sort of, well, a bit like Last Chance Saloon to get into the caroms, but he's got to be careful how hard he hits this and where this 1 ball's ending up. He wants to have a shot of some description. And of course, when you're potting that 1 ball, the 1 ball's going more or less square to the 5, which is not good for a carom. You know, it's going to sit in its spot, and it's going to be pretty much parallel with the 5 ball. You want an angle of some description. So this might not be an easy carom unless he does something with the cue ball here. Yeah, he's trying to go over. Well, it looks as if he's trying to go over towards the 3, but this is by no means easy. And if he's playing a thin edge of the one from that distance, good luck to him, because they're really, really tough. You could easily scratch off the one ball trying that. And in the end, he missed it by the proverbial country mile. And all to do with the pattern. You know, I knew fine well that the one ball going in its spot was going to be no good. So the run ends on 11. He's still 3 short. And Larry's going to have to play a bit of a bang here, I think, if he wants to get that one out of the way. No, he hasn't. He's fine. I didn't think he had quite as good an angle. But now it's tough. This is good though. Force follow. Got to watch the pace in the 5 ball because it looks like a bank. He's missed a hit though. I mean, that was not a difficult force follow, that shot there. This is the longest day, isn't it? Did I not say that last night? This is the 21st of June, so this is the longest day. So after tonight, the nights start getting longer again. Or is it tomorrow? What the hell's the day's date? I've lost track of time. Been off for 2 days. Well, this is the 20th. Aye, it is. It's the 21st, so, well, tomorrow's the longest day. Well, Rodney and Larry tied at 91 apiece. The match has been on for an hour and 4 minutes now. Are you sure today is the solstice? I thought it was tomorrow. The 20th of June is the solstice. I always thought it was the 21st. Well, and the according to the weather forecast, the weather is to get a wee bit more settled again and warm up a wee bit. It can warm up all it likes. I won't be out in it when I'm off my 2 weeks. I'll only be out to do the shopping. I'll be sat in the house watching the tennis for a fortnight. Well, everything's at a distance here. 91 apiece still. You know what I'd be doing here, don't you? I'd be straight off that 3 ball around 3 rails onto the 1. Because that's what happens when you try banking and stunning down and spinning to the 3. The only thing that would have gone into the hole there would probably be the cue ball. Well, guaranteed that most of the people that are all gathered around Stonehenge tonight and tomorrow morning for the sunrise, they'll all be smoking. They'll all be smoking weed. They're all freaked out hippies. All of those people that go to that just to see the sun rising. Mind you, they might be barred from it this year because protesters sprayed powder paint onto the stones, so they may well have cordoned it all off so that they can clean it up. Or they might have already done it, I don't know. That's not got enough spin in it, not enough cut. But suddenly Larry finds himself behind in this rack, I think, really for the first time. Now, is he going 3 rails here? He is. Oh, but this is what you don't want to do. You see, when you do that and you don't get the hit, you end up setting up an easy start for your opponent. One ball. And Larry back in again. On a knife edge. Is it going to be 2-0 or is it going to be a long night? I see they're talking about big fires in the US again with the heat wave that they've got going. A lot of land burning up again. I never realised it varied either. I always thought it was June the 21st. And of course, Stonehenge is probably the most famous set of standing stones in the UK, but they're far from the oldest. The oldest standing stones are either in Scotland or in Ireland. So they are. That just shows you that early man had nothing better, they had nothing better to do with their time than find ways to shovel big blocks of granite round about the countryside. They'd bugger all to do with their lives. All they did was shag sheet and cut peat. That's about all they did. Well, Rodney with a 4-point lead. One ball's not sitting in a great position. Well, this is where you've got to be brave. If you don't have the force follow, then you've got the 2 and 1 shot off that 1 down to the 3 and 5. And you see that, he didn't have the line and he tried to cheat the object ball there. But if he'd played my way was a far better odds of getting a point. You go off the 1, you go at the rail, and you come down that line to hit the 3 or the 5. That's where the 2 and 1 shot has to be your option. You have to increase your odds. And Larry tried to defeat the laws of gravity and physics there. And it ain't going to happen. So things like that are what you have to be watching for in Coyote. They're a prime help in you keeping yourself at the table, looking for two-way shots at this stage. And I think Larry missed a trick there, and it may well cost him the rack because of it. Oh, look at this little nudge. Now, is he finishing 2 straight? Yes, he is. Oh, is he going to try and just cheat that past it and catch any of it? This is very touch and go to punch that past there, just catch an edge in the 3. Oh, it went comfortably. Yeah. And now, I think he's got to check this cue ball up if he's going to try and get to the 5. I think if he goes left edge of the 3, he's trying to go up country. Well, this maybe isn't that clever because all he's done is set up an easy start for Larry. And that 1 ball could come to Larry's rescue here, because that one ball's no good for an outshot. And I say this is an easy one for Larry. He's got to get that 5 thin enough, and that 3 ball heading in a good direction but too straight. Well, if I'm Larry, I'm just playing safe and leaving these as far apart as I can, because you don't want to do anything to touch that 1 at the moment. The next shot you do, well, that'll do as an extra point. But you don't want to be going near that 1 ball unless you're odds on certainty you're going to hit it. Oh, just missed a nudge there. Well, look at what's happened. 3 balls come into play. A little brush onto the 1. If he gets this the right way, it can be set up without shot into that top right hand corner pocket. That's too heavy. Oh no, it isn't. He's got a double kiss. He's got a double kiss. I don't know that he can get the 1 ball out of the way though. Is he trying to bump into? I don't know what he was thinking. I thought he was going to try and bump the back and go in off it, but yeah, this is odds on collision here, this 1 ball. Now he hasn't called the pocket yet because he's trying to convince himself he can still find a way out here of this. He's aiming at the jaw. He's trying to use the jaw to get the cue ball to drop in, and that one ball to sort of go out the way. It was never going to happen. Well, Larry has to know that that 1 ball's sitting in prime position for the outshot. He's got to do the big draw into the 5, something like that. Anything but leave the 1 ball there. Oh, he's trying to spin to the 3. Has he got it? Yeah, and look at the 1 ball. Oh dear. Well, now, let me have a look. He's trying to clip that 5, bit of right English, catch the 1. Now he can do that, or he can do that. Now that shows you Larry's thinking. Just about to say that, he can just hook him behind the 5. And, I mean, you never know. But this is giving him good odds at still coming to the table with an opportunity to string maybe a couple of caroms together. Oh, look at this. A good effort. And Larry is going to obviously push the 5 further up the table. Now he can play, he can look at the line that the 5's going if he bangs it. He can look at the line the 1's going if he bangs it. But the 1's heading more up towards the 3 if he gets this right. Oh, he's not played it. Oh, that's just a sellout. That's a sellout, Larry. You've got to go for it when the guy's in 100. I mean, that was a half-hearted effort at whatever it was. He had to give that a bang to get the 1 up the table towards the 3. Or play the 5 and the draw to the 1. But what he played there was a nothing shot. And that's just help yourself. And Rodney hasn't taken the chance. Well, Larry has got off the hook there, I'll tell you. Although he's got nothing easy here either, though. This is thin. But if he plays this gentle enough and he just rolls towards the 3, if he doesn't hit the 3, he's not going to leave an easy out off this 1. That's for certain. He's got to play this gentle. Now he's running the cue ball. Now, again, that's not the way I would have played it, because look at what he's done. I would have played a sort of 2-in-1 shot to get the carom, and that 1 ball would have been somewhere over there. It wouldn't have been easy. But everybody sees the table different. But that is another sellout opportunity here. I don't think it's sitting perfect, this, by the way. Now Larry can punch the one around the angles here and use the 5 for the snooker and ball. That's what he wants to do. The only thing is he doesn't want the one ball to get into a hole. But that's what he should be doing now. He should just be banking that one around the angles. And he shouldn't be doing that, because again, I haven't a clue what's going through Larry's head here, because that's a terrible shot. That is a terrible shot. I mean, if Rodney can't get out here, then he should give up. I mean, that was the biggest sellout you're going to see, I think, in the tournament, what Larry just done there. I think Larry just seemed devoid of ideas there. And the shots that he did play ended up being absolutely nothing. So he sort of lost his way right at the end of the rack there. But he should have played the snooker. He should have just bumped to one around the angles and killed the cue ball behind the 5. There's no jump cues. You know, Rodney would have had to have been kicking at the one ball and virtually no chance of getting out. And Larry just didn't seem he wanted the rack to go much further. Well, it's one apiece. Strange shots there from Larry. Definitely strange. Shots of a player who certainly doesn't play cowboy a lot. Because the priority, when your opponent is sitting in 100, your priority is you can't play a shot for a carom unless you're pretty much a dead set you're going to get it. What you have to do at this stage, when you're sitting 100 down and the guy's just waiting in the scratch, is you must protect the one ball. That's your ultimate priority. You play the carom if the carom's a dead set, or you think your last chance saloon. But what you don't do is, don't do what Larry did. That's my advice. Well, it's possibly going to end up in a long night here for both of these players, but Rodney should have been dealt with there by Larry. He really should have. This second rack that's now finished should have went on for maybe another 15-20 minutes with Larry messing Rodney about. You've got to do everything to make it difficult, and Larry just didn't do that at all, which is really surprising. Those last 2 or 3 shots he played were nothing shots. Had a previous attempt to gift it to Rodney. Rodney didn't get it, but then that final one was a sitter. You're never missing that out shot. So back to square one. I think that 5 balls off the rail, so this should be getting cut in. What you want to do is, oh, that's a carom, my bad. Out of sequence myself there. And Rodney's contribution, just a single point. Well, again, you've got to play this dead weight. He looks as if he's stunning to the rail. You just got to play this dead weight, because you want to do something like that and bring the ball over the pocket. The bonus there is that the 3 ball went in as well, so he can now get the 5 back in the spot, and then he's back to more familiar territory. You get quoted 175 quid for repairing my Xbox, and the shop down the road did it for 60 quid. Well, that's why you don't take the first quote. It's like car insurance. I mean, good God. You never take the first quote. Even if you're, an hour and a half on the phone, phoning round or going through the websites, you never take the first quote. What is it? Is it an old Xbox 360? Or is it I don't know what the hell they are now. I've lost track of all the consoles. I mean, that's something I used to keep a tab on when I was selling them. But now I've got no clue what's top of the range. PS5, Xbox, something or other. I don't know what they are now. So Larry's building up a little lead here early on in rack number 3. And he should still be playing rack number 2, but as you witnessed, he's got a strange train of thought in his head, Larry. I haven't a clue what he's thinking. Got me puzzled. 35 quid for a diagnosis, aye. Yeah, you know what 35 quid is? 35 quid for taking the screws out of the bloody machine just to look at the printed circuit board. That's all that is. And then it ends up in a dry joint and it's just a bit of solder for 30 pence. And then they charge you 60 quid all in. And Larry had just blown his 24 points. I'm sure there's a lot of guys look at Cowboy thinking, Cowboy's an easy game. All you have to do is pot a ball, and then with your next shot you just have to play a carom to the next ball, and they think it's all too easy, especially you're in the 10-foot table, loads of room. Oh aye, you're talking to the right man there about that, coldest pillow. I do some daft stuff, but we've all done it. I mean, if you were on early this morning, you'd have saw VP Monster and Tam doing it quite a bit. Yeah, but we've all done it. I mean, there's days where you struggle with force follows. You seem to be ending up with force follows that are a bit too long, and the cue balls get that bit further to travel, and you can't spot one straight away. You just skim past it and you miss it, and then that's what it's like the rest of the bloody day. You can't get them, or you get the odd one, but you just can't get a sequence of them at all. And then there's other days where you get your eye in straight away and you can't miss them. You just get into a good rhythm and whatever. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, today I played not too bad at Cowboy, considering I only ever play it twice a week. I actually had not a bad day today. Not the fact that me and my partner, we played 4 matches and we won them all, but I don't think I did an awful lot of crazy stuff today. There's desperate situations where I will do crazy stuff, but things sort of went pretty well. But I'm thinking ahead here. I'm thinking ahead that at some point in the future, if VP4 is still around or something, I'll be at a retired stage where I can play it all day. Yeah, I mean that's the one thing I never read the chat when I'm playing with Crosty. Never. I'm single-minded when it comes to that because I pay no attention to it at all. You know, there's times I wish I had Crosty on Discord so I could just stop him from playing something stupid that he's going for. But who was the most frustrating player partner that I had at Cowboy? What's his name? He he doesn't come to VP4 anymore. Probably that's the reason he doesn't come to VP4 anymore. I'm trying to remember his name. Oh, he was the bloody most frustrating one of all. Yeah, Ali. Oh God, my blood pressure goes through the roof when I was playing with him. Yeah, my blood pressure just rocketed every time I was playing with him. Because all he had was one pace. It was bang. That was it. It seemed to be that his mouse was in permanent. What do you call it? Or every shot he was playing was with the amp on every bloody time. You'd say hit it soft, Ali, bang. Yeah, I think he finally got fed up with me ripping into him. I think he had enough of that.